Welcome to the session on cloud computing and its application. In today's session, we will talk about module number 4, chapter number 8, data intensive computing, map reducing programming. Data intensive computing focus on a class of applications that deals with a large amount of data. Several application fields ranging from computational science to social networking produces large amount of data that need to be efficiently stored, made accessible, indexed and analyzed. These tasks become challenging as the quantity of information accumulates and increases over time at higher rates. Distributed computing is definitely of helping in addressing these challenges by providing more scalable and efficient storage architectures and a better performance in terms of data computational and processing. Despite this, the use of parallel and distributed techniques as a support of data intensive computing is not straightforward, but several challenges in form of data representation, efficient algorithms and scalable infrastructure needed to be faced. So we'll see what is data intensive computing. Data intensive computing is concerned with production, manipulation and analysis of large scale data in range of 100 of megabytes to petabytes and beyond. The term data set is commonly used to identify a collection of information elements that is relevant to one or more application. Data sets are often maintained in repositories, which are infrastructure supporting the storage, retrieval and indexing of large amount of information. In order to facilitate the classification and the search of relevant bits of information, metadata are attached to the data set. So, as we understood, data intensive computing is a class of parallel computing applications which uses a data parallel approach to process large amount of data, which has a large amount of data ranging from terabytes to petabytes in size and typically referred to as big data. Data intensive computing occurs in many application domains. First one, computational science. Second one, bioinformatic applications. And third one, earthquake simulators. Now, computational science is one of the most popular ones Scientific simulations and experiments are often keen to produce, analyze, and process huge volume of data. Hundreds of gigabytes of data are produced every second by telescopes mapping the sky, and collection of images of the sky easily reaches the scale of petabytes over a year. Bioinformatic application mine databases that may end up containing terabytes of data. Earthquake simulators process a massive amount of data which is produced as a result of recording the vibration of the earth across the entire globe. These are some of the applications which come under data intensive computing, which needs huge or which produces huge volume of data and needs large amount of processing power as well. So distributed computing is one of the best methods uh, to solve or to analyze these data. Besides scientific computing, several IT industry sectors require support for data intensive computations. Customer data of any telecom company would easily be in the range of 10 to 100 terabytes. This volume of information is not only processed to generate bill statements but also mined to identify scenarios, trends, and patterns, helping these companies to provide a better service. Moreover, it is reported that currently the US handset mobile traffic has reached 8 petabytes per month, and it is expected to grow up to 327 petabytes per month by 2050. Social networking and gaming are two other sectors where data intensive computing is now a reality. Facebook inbox search operation involves crawling about 150 terabytes of data, and the whole uncompressed data stored by the distributed infrastructure reaches to 36 petabytes. Zynga social gaming platform moves 1 petabyte of data daily, and it has been reported to add 1,000 servers every week to sustain to store the data generated by games like Farmville, Fortane, Mille, etc. Next we'll see what are the characterization of data intensive computation. Data intensive applications do not only deal with the huge volume of data but very often also exhibit compute intensive property also. Data intensive application handle data sets in the scale of multiple terabytes and petabytes. Data sets are commonly persisted in several formats and distributed across different locations. Such applications process data in multi-step analytical pipelines, including transformation and fusion stages. The processing requirements scale almost linearly with the dataset, and they can be easily processed in parallel. They also need efficient mechanism for data management, filtering and fusion, and efficient querying and distribution. Diagram showing data intensive research issues. So we'll see what are the challenges are there in data intensive computing. The huge amount of data produced, analyzed or stored imposes requirements on the supporting infrastructures and middleware that are hardly found in the traditional solution for distributed computing. For example, the location of the data is crucial as the need for moving terabytes of data becomes an obstacle for high performance computations. Data partitioning as well as content replications and scalable algorithms help in improving the performance of data intensive applications. Open challenges in data intensive computing are: first one is scalable algorithm that can search and process massive data sets. New metadata management technologies that can scale to handle complex, heterogeneous, and distributed data sources. Advances in high performance computing platform aimed to providing a better support for accessing in-memory multi-terabyte data structures. High performance, high reliable petascale distributed file systems. Data signature generation techniques for data reduction and rapid processing. New approaches to software mobility for delivering algorithms able to move the computations where the data is located. Specialized hybrid interconnection architectures providing a better support for filtering multi-gigabyte data streams coming from high-speed networks and scientific instruments. Flexible and high-performance software integration techniques facilitating the combination of software modules running on different platforms to quickly form analytical pipelines. These are some of the open challenges in data-intensive computing. Historical perspectives. Data-intensive computing involves the production, management, and analysis of large amount of data. Supporting for data-intensive computing is provided by harnessing storage, networking technologies, algorithm, and infrastructure software altogether. Very first started with wide area networking, then came data grids, then data clouds and big data, then we have databases and data intensive computing. Starting with the early age, high speed wide area networking. The evolution of technologies, protocol and algorithms for data transmission and streaming has been an enabler of data intensive computations. In 1989, the first experiment in high-speed networking as a support of remote visualization of scientific data led the way. 2 years later, the potential of using high-speed wide area network for enabling high-speed TCP/IP based distributed applications was demonstrated at supercomputing. In that occasions, the remote visualization of large and complex scientific data sets was set up between the Pittsburgh Supercomputing Center (PSC) the location of the conferences. A further step was made by the Kaiser project, which made available as remote data sources, high data rate and online instrument system. The project leveraged the wide area large data object system, which was used to provide the following capability: automatic generation of metadata, automatic cataloging of data, and metadata while processing the data in real time, facilitation of cooperation research by providing access to data to local and remote users, and mechanism to incorporate data into database and other documents. The first data intensive environment is reported to be the MAGIC project, and DARPA funded corporation working on distributed application in large scale high speed networks. Within this context, data distributed parallel storage system was developed, which was later used to support TerraVision, terrain visualization application that lets user explore or navigate a tri-dimensional real landscape. Another important milestone was set up with the Clipper project, which is a collaborative effort of several scientific research laboratories with the goal of designing and implementing a collection of independent but architecturally consistent service components to support data intensive computing. The challenges addressed by the Clipper project included management of sustained computational resources, generation or consumption of high data rate and high volume of data flows, human interaction management, and aggregation of dispersed resources, etc. The main focus of Clipper was developed a coordinated collection of services that can be used by the variety of application to build on demand large scale high performance wide area problem solving environments. Next came was data grid. With the advent of grid computing, huge computational power and storage facility could be obtained by harnessing heterogeneous resources across different administrative domains. Within this context, data grid emerged as infrastructures supporting data intensive computing. So what all problems which was there earlier in the early ages was solved in when the data grid came into picture. Data grid provides services helping user to discover, transfer and manipulate large data sets stored in distributed repositories and also create and manage copies of them. Data Grid offered two main functionalities: high performance and reliable file transfer for moving large amount of data, and scalable replica discovery and management mechanism for easily access to distributed dataset, which was not there earlier. As this span across different administrative boundaries, access control and securities are also important concerns. Data grids mostly provide storage and data set management facilities as support of scientific experiments that produces huge volume of data. The information which can be locally processed is then stored in the repositories and made available for experiments and analysis to scientists who can be local or mostly likely remotely. Scientists can leverage specific discovery and information services, which helps in determining where the closest data sets of interest for their experiments are located. Then data sets are replicated by the infrastructure in order to provide a better availability. Since processing of this information also requires large computational power, specific computing sites can be accessed to perform analysis and experiments. This is a diagram showing data grid reference scenario. As any other grid infrastructure, heterogeneity of resources and different administrative domain constitute a fundamental aspect that needs to be properly addressed with security measures and the use of virtual organizations. Beside heterogeneity and security, data grid have their own characteristics and introduces new challenges. So few of the challenges which was there earlier was addressed in data grids when data grid came into picture, but data grid also has its own challenges. First one, massive data set. The size of data can easily be in a scalable of gigabytes, terabytes and beyond. So it is therefore necessary to minimize latency during bulk transfer, replicate content with appropriate strategies and manage storage resources. Second challenges was shared data collection. Resource sharing includes distributed collection of data. For example, repositories can be used to both storing and reading data. Unified namespace. Data grids imposes a unified logical namespace where to locate data collection and resources. Every data element has a single logical name which is eventually mapped to different physical file names for the purpose of replication and accessibility. And last challenge is access restriction. Even though one of the purposes of data grid is facilitating the sharing of results and data for experiments, some user might wish to ensure confidentiality of their data and restrict access to them only to their collaborators. Authentication and authorization in data grid involves both coarse graining and fine graining access control over shared data collection. So these are some of the new challenges which was faced when data grid came into picture. With respect to the combination of several computing facilities through high-speed networking, data grid constitutes a more structured and integrated approach for data-intensive computing. As a result, several scientific research fields including high-energy physics, biology, and astronomy leverage data grid as briefly discussed in the slide. First one is LHC grid, a project funded by European Union to develop a worldwide grid computing environment for use by high energy physics researchers around the world collaborating on the LHC experiments. It supports storage and analysis of large scale data sets from hundreds of terabytes to petabytes generated by the LHC experiments. Second one is Bioinformatic Research Network. BIRN is a national initiative to advance biomedical research through data sharing and online collaboration funded by the National Center for Research Resources, a component of the US National Institution of Health. BIRN provides data sharing infrastructure, software tools, and strategies and advisory services. For more information, you can go through that websites. International Virtual Observatory Alliance IVOA is an organization aimed at providing improved access to the ever-expanding astronomical data resources available online. It does so by promoting standard for virtual observations, which are a collection of interoperation data archive and software tools utilizing the internet to form a scientific research environment where astronomical research programs can be conducted. This allows scientists to discover, access, analyze, and combine lab data from heterogeneous data collections. Next came was data clouds and big data. Data sets have mostly been the domain of scientific computing. This scenario has recently started to change as massive amount of data are being produced, mined and crunched by companies providing internet services such as searching, online advertisement and social media. It is critical for such companies to efficiently analyze these huge data sets as they constitute a precise source of information about their customers. Log analysis is an example of data intensive operation that is commonly performed in this context. Companies such as Google have a massive amount of data in the form of logs that are daily processed by using their distributed infrastructure. As a result, they settled upon analytic infrastructure that differs from the grid-based infrastructure used by the scientific community. Together with the diffusion of cloud computing technologies supporting data intensive computations, the term big data has become popular. This term characterizes the nature of data intensive computations nowadays and currently identifies data sets that grow so large that they become complex to work with using on-hand data management tools. Relational databases and desktop static or virtualization packages become inefficient for the amount of information requiring. Instead, massive parallel software running on hundreds or even thousands of servers. Big data problems are found in non-scientific applications as well, such as weblogs, RFID, sensor networks, social networks, internet text and documents, internet search indexing, call detail records, military surveillance, medical records, photography, video archives, and large scale e-commerce. Other than the massive size, what categorizes all these examples is that new data is accumulated with time rather than replacing the old ones. In general, big data applies to data sets whose size is beyond the ability of commonly used software tools to capture, manage, and process the data within a Torah. tolerable elapsed time. Therefore, big data sizes are a constantly moving target currently ranging from a few dozen terabytes to many petabytes of data in a single database. Cloud computing support data intensive computing in several ways. First one, by providing large amount of data instances on demand that can be used to process and analyze large data set in parallel. By providing a storage system optimized for keeping large blobs of data and other distributed data store architectures. By providing framework and programming APIs optimized for processing and management of large amount of data, these APIs are mostly coupled with a specific storage infrastructure in order to optimize large performance of the system. Data cloud is a combination of these components. An example is the MapReduce framework, which provides the best performance when leveraging the Google file system on top of Google's large computational infrastructure. Another example is Hadoop system, the most mature, large, and open source data cloud. It constitutes of the Hadoop distributed file system and Hadoop implementation of MapReduce. In our coming sessions, we'll be studying about details about what you mean by MapReduce. I will explain all about MapReducing techniques in our coming sessions. A similar approach proposed by Sector, which constitutes of the sector distributed file system and compute service called Sphere that allows user to execute UDFs over the data management by SDFs. Database and data intensive computing. Traditionally, distributed databases have been considered the natural evolution of database management system as the scale of the data sets becomes unmanageable within a single system. Distributed databases are a collection of data stored at different sites of a computer network. Each site might expose a degree of autonomy, providing services for the execution of local applications but also participate in the execution of global applications. A distributed database can be created by splitting and scattering the data of an existing database over different sites or by federating together multiple existing databases. These systems are very robust and provide distributed transaction processing, distributed query optimization, and efficient management of resources. However, they are mostly concerned with datasets that can be expressed by using the traditional model, and the need to enforce ACID properties on data limits their ability to scale as data clouds and grid. All the contents of the slides are taken from the textbook Mastering Cloud Computing written by Rajkumar Bhuiya, and in this session we have seen what is data intensive computing, what are the challenges of data intensive computing, and historical perspective how data intensive computing map reducing programming came into picture. In the next session we will talk about technologies for data intensive computing. Thank you.